Today, we're diving into some brilliant ideas from Matthew Dix's book Storyworthy. We're going to unlock the secret to finding and telling amazing stories from a place you probably overlook all the time, your own life. So let's just get this out of the way first, because it's what stops almost everyone. Do you ever feel like you just don't have any good stories to tell? That your life is just too normal, too routine? Well, that's the big myth we're going to completely tear down today. And this is where the genius of Matthew Dix comes in. Check out this quote. He says that the greatest stories aren't about huge, epic events. No, they're about these tiny, 5-second moments, these little flashes of insight or change that happen to us. And that one idea, right there, completely flips everything you think you know about what makes a good story. And that leads us to the core philosophy of being storyworthy. It's really just a shift in your mindset. It's not about waiting around for some huge drama to happen to you. It's about learning how to see the stories that are already playing out every single day. Think about it like this. Dix has this great example. He says the movie Jurassic Park, it isn't actually about dinosaurs. I know, sounds crazy, right? But he argues it's really a story about a man learning how to be a father. The dinosaurs, they're just the thing that causes his transformation. And it's the same with our lives. The story isn't about your big trip to Italy, it's about the small moment on that trip when you realized something new about yourself. It's always about the internal change. So, okay, how do you actually start finding these tiny moments? Well, this brings us to what is maybe the most important, most practical tool in the whole book. Dix calls it homework for life, and trust me, it's a simple little daily habit that will completely retrain your brain to see the world like a storyteller. And the process could not be simpler. Seriously, at the end of every day, to stop for a minute, think back, and ask yourself this one question. What was my most story-worthy moment today? It doesn't have to be some big, dramatic thing. Just find that one little moment, and then just jot down a sentence or two about it in a spreadsheet. That's it. The magic is in doing it every single day. And here's a perfect example from his own life. He tells a story about his son, Charlie, who kept throwing food during dinner. You know, a totally normal, frustrating parent moment. But the story wasn't about a kid making a mess. For Dix, that moment made him realize something profound about his own childhood, about experiencing hunger, and how it was shaping his reactions as a father right now. You see, the story is in the realization, not the event itself. All right, so you start doing your homework, you're collecting these little daily moments, and you start to have this huge list. Now what? Well, you need a way to figure out which of these moments has a real story inside it. And this brings us right to the heart of Dix's whole theory, the 5-second moment. This is the secret sauce. The 5-second moment is the entire reason you're telling the story. It's the punchline, the climax, the destination, all rolled into one. It's that one single instant where something clicks or shifts or becomes clear for you. And your entire story, everything you say, is built just to get your audience to that exact moment. And this is a wild way to think about building a story. It's going to sound kind of backward, but you don't start at the beginning. You actually start with the end. You find that 5-second moment of change first. That's your finale. Then you work backwards and ask yourself, okay, what's the most interesting path I can take to lead my audience right to this realization? Okay, so you've got your story-worthy moments. You've found that 5-second core. Now, how do you actually craft it into something people want to listen to? Let's burn through a few quick, super powerful secrets from the Storyteller's Toolkit. So here are 3 quick game changers. First, the but and therefore rule. Instead of saying this happened and then this happened, you connect your story with this happened, but then that happened, therefore this happened. It creates momentum. Second, the 5 permissible lies. Basically, it's okay to tweak small things, like squishing time together, to serve the deeper emotional truth of the story. And third, make it little. If you want to talk about something huge, like a car crash, don't describe the whole chaotic scene. Instead, focus on one small detail, like the birthday gift sitting on the passenger seat. That's what hits people in the heart. But why? Why do all this work? Why dig through your life for stories and polish them up? The real reward, the big payoff, isn't about getting applause. It's not about being the most interesting person at a party. It's about something way, way deeper. It's about connection. And there's this one story from the book that just perfectly captures the why of it all. It's December 2016. Matthew Dix is flying out for a speaking gig in Illinois, and a monster snowstorm just buries Chicago. His connecting flight? Canceled. He's stuck. So he's stranded at the airport,
But then, the guy who hired him, a man named Carl, offers to drive 2 hours through a blizzard just to pick him up. And on that long drive, Carl does something really unexpected. He invites Matthew, a guy he's never met, to his own family's holiday party that night.
Now, why on earth would he do that? Because it turns out Carl's family were fans. They had listened to Matthew's stories on podcasts. They'd heard these funny, vulnerable, deeply human stories he told. So to them, he wasn't some stranger. They felt like they already knew him. So when Matthew Dix walks into this party, into a house packed with people he's never, ever met before, he's not greeted with polite handshakes. He's greeted with hugs. People are coming up to him like he's a cousin they just haven't seen in a few years. And that just nails it, doesn't it? That is the ultimate prize of telling good, honest stories. It's not a performance, it's connection. It just melts away the walls between people and lets us see ourselves in each other. It allows you to be just like family. So that really leaves us with just one final thought. The moments of your life, yeah, even the small ones, the boring ones, they all have these seeds of connection inside them. They are all worthy of a story. The only question is, which one will you decide to find and share today?